Welcome back to Sunshine and Square Feet. Today we're diving into something huge, the massive demographic shift that's really reshaping the U.S. housing market.
Absolutely. And we're focusing specifically on the baby boomer generation and their incredible economic power, especially right here in Central Florida.
And the scale is just staggering, isn't
It
it?
really is. Our insights, partly from, realtors we work closely with here in Central Florida, like Jim and Tammy, they highlight boomers holding somewhere between 18 to 19 trillion dollars in U.S. housing wealth.
18 to 19 trillion.
Yeah, that's nearly half of the total owner-occupied housing value in the entire country. And maybe the most surprising thing, they're actually buying homes at a faster rate than millennials right now.
Wow. Okay, so that really sets up what we want to unpack today, this idea of a boomer housing tsunami and how it's creating like a logjam in the market, right?
Yeah,
Especially for younger buyers.
exactly. A logjam is a good way to put it. And if you look at the map, Florida is ground zero.
No question. It feels like it when you're driving around.
Oh, definitely. Florida actually has 5 of the top 10 metro areas in the whole country for boomer-owned wealth. And it's really concentrated wealth.
Like where specifically?
We'll take North Court Bradenton. They're sitting on about $97 billion in boomer-owned real estate, billion with a B. And then you've got Naples Marco Island, that's another $70 billion.
Incredible sums just locked into specific areas.
Yeah.
And you can't talk about this demographic in Florida without mentioning the villages, right?
Oh, absolutely not. The Villages is sort of the ultimate case study here. It has the highest share of homeowners age 65 plus in the entire nation, about 78%.
78%.
Yes. And it's not just people aging there, it's the constant influx. Places like Palm Coast, Cape Coral, they lead the U.S. in the share of their population that are new boomer transplants. Palm Coast is almost 3.7%. That Florida sunshine and, let's be honest, the tax situation, it's a powerful pull.
Okay, so the wealth is here, it's concentrated. But why isn't it circulating? Let's talk about that logjam, the downsizing dilemma. Why aren't boomers selling and freeing up houses?
Yeah, that's the core issue. They're largely aging in place, staying put. And that creates a real scarcity, especially for certain types of homes.
Which types?
Think 3-bedroom homes. Our data shows boomers own almost twice as many of those as millennials who have kids. We're talking 28% versus about 14%. So the very homes young families often need, they're occupied.
And they're staying put because?
It boils down to finances mostly. A huge number of them have either paid off their homes completely or they locked in mortgage rates years ago that were incredibly low, like 2.5%, maybe 2.99%.
Rates you just dream about now.
Exactly. So if they were to sell and move, they'd face today's rates, over 6%. Plus, there's the property tax issue. Many seniors benefit from caps or fees, but selling means a reset based on a new, much higher home value.
So it's like golden handcuffs keeping them in place.
That's a perfect analogy. They run the numbers and often find that downsizing to a smaller place would actually cost them the same, or sometimes even more, than just staying in their larger, often paid-off home. There's just no financial incentive to move.
Okay, so the housing market's jammed up. What does this heavy focus on retirees mean for Florida's economy overall? There have got to be wider ripple effects.
Oh, absolutely. It raises a really critical point about economic specialization. Florida's economy is becoming very, very good at serving retirees. Think tourism, local services, certain kinds of healthcare.
Which often means lower wage jobs, right?
Generally, yes. Hospitality, some healthcare support roles, retail. These tend to be lower skill, lower wage positions. And when an economy specializes so heavily there, it can sometimes crowd out the development of, say, high-skill, knowledge-based industries.
And this demographic holds significant political sway, too, I imagine.
Immense sway. Projections show that by 2030, folks 65 and older could make up 26% of Florida's population, but maybe 40% of its voters.
40%. It's huge.
It is, and that kind of voting power definitely shapes policy priorities. You might see more focus on issues relevant to seniors, maybe at the expense of things like funding for new schools or investments aimed at diversifying the future economy.
So looking ahead, what's the end game?
Well, eventually there's this massive wealth transfer coming, right? An estimated $84 trillion is expected to pass from boomers to younger generations over the next few decades. That will reshape the market eventually. But right now, the immediate effect is this complex situation, scarcity, the housing jam we talked about, a lot of friction.
And it leaves us with a really interesting, maybe provocative thought about Florida's future direction, doesn't it?
It does. You have to wonder, Could Florida sort of lean into this? Could the state intentionally decide to prioritize developing really strong trade skills, the best plumbers, electricians, nurses, landscapers, all the services needed to support this massive retiree economy, potentially over chasing high-tech innovation hubs? It's a possible path, a kind of regional divergence driven by demographics, something for all of us, you included, to think about.
Definitely food for thought. Thanks for listening to another episode of Sunshine and Square Feet. Please like and subscribe to the channel.